Hey, what is up guys, back with another video here. So in this video, I'm gonna be giving my own little commentary review on Reanimal, this game I'm playing. So I'm currently doing chapter 3. This is my second playthrough. I've been playing this game since I think a day or two after it launched. And basically in this video I'm gonna tell you my opinions on the game and what I'd like to see in the game's future, you know. So let's start that off with one of the first monsters we meet in the game, the beloved Sniffer. Okay, that guy, the creepy guy with the fedora, you know, the weirdo. And I called him some things that I don't know if you're allowed to say on YouTube, so I'm going to refrain from saying that. Okay? But I'm just saying he does look like a weirdo when he in the ice cream van holding the ice cream out to the I can't remember the girl's name. I've only just found out it was a girl, but I had to call him not the name, and I call him something that I also think YouTube might demonetize this video for. So I'm not going to say that either. But anyway, it is one of the best monsters in the game, basically. Which, yeah, the opinion can vary. I also do like the mother. She's a really good monster as well when it comes to the game. But we're going to start off with him. See, the Sniffer, he's just really good at being, like, an intimidating and terrifying threat. You know, you can probably... I don't know, how do I explain it? He's probably on the level of, like, some of like the scariest Little Nightmares monsters, probably even scarier, you know. Let's say he's on the same level as just the Thin Man or the Granny, you know. He's a lot scarier and he's a lot more intimidating, you know. And he's got this creepy like skin suit like design of it. At least I think that's where it is. I saw a video that there's the theory that he's that fox you can see up on the ridge in chapter 1 when you get away from him for the first time. Which is an interesting theory, because all the other monsters, except for the Spider Kids or whatever they were, um, they're the only, he was the only like humanoid monster outside of concept art, you know. Right. And well, he probably had some of the one of the scariest sections of the game, you know, in the town and in like the little, what was it, like it was a train yard, wasn't there? Yeah. Now, I was watching quite a lot of the content for the game the other day, right? And the original Sniffer design was interesting to look at, you know. And there were more scenes with him. Like there was this one violin scene, which would probably be like the teacher's piano scene from Little Nightmares 2, do you know? Which I think would have been a great addition to this game. But it's not. I think one of Reanimal's problems is that they introduce a really cool monster and don't give him near as much screen time as he deserves. Like, the Sniffer, he's got plenty of screen time, but you would like to see more of him. He's one of those monsters where, yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more of him. So, he could definitely be a future DLC monster. Because I'm not too sure. He probably did die, you know, that's kind of what happens when a car runs you over, sometimes. But because it's a supernatural horror game, there's a good chance he didn't, you know? Because that's just usually what happens. So it'd be cool to see him in a DLC. But I think something that'd be a bit better for the DLC is to have one of the scrapped enemies, like the Copper, as one of the bad guys for one of the DLC chapters. Or just one of like the main monsters in general, you know? But the Sniffer is one of the best monsters in this game. I think most people can agree with me. But then again, there's probably people that think the Pelican is their favorite monster, which nothing wrong with that. It's just, I don't know. I like the idea that Sniffer is one of the best ones, you know. Right, mate. Anyway, let's go on now to the Pelican, who we are going to be seeing in the upcoming game footage, you know? I can't remember how you speed up the boat. Anyway, the Pelican is a one-chapter monster who isn't very scary except for his chase scene and when he just pops out of nowhere that one time. But that's about it. There's nothing else. He's just there. He doesn't do much, you know? I think it's a he. I don't know. I just assume with animals, you know. Usually I just go, oh, good girl, or something like that. When I see a dog, I'll never really assume. Why am I going on this tangent? It's not really an interesting one, is it? Anyway, that was such a stupid side rant. What was I saying? Anyway, the Pelican. It was a cool monster. It's just there wasn't much of a point to him, you know? Okay, so I watched some more of the cut content, which involved one of my favourite characters for this game, Bandage Boy. Partly because I thought he looked cool. Secondly, because I thought he was the least stupid, okay? You know? I don't know, I just thought Bucket Boy and the KKK girl were absolute idiots, you know? Yeah, there's a creep holding ice cream to you. Don't run or anything like that. Yeah, ooh. Yeah. Now, Bucket Boy, he just doesn't do anything, though, do he? He's there. Anyway, as I was saying, I was watching a bunch of cut content for Reanimal, and it involved an army arc, which would be Bandage Boy, how you'd find and help Bandage Boy, you know? And you'd save him from the fat officer soldier or whatever he was, you know? Which I thought would have been an awesome addition to the game. It would have made the soldiers a lot more interesting, if you get what I mean, you know? I mean, you could still keep the Pelican, you know? I don't mind the Pelican at all, really. But it's just not really that a very interesting enemy. It's got a cool, creepy animal design, you know, like all the monsters in this game. But there's not much to him, you know? I think that's like the third time I've said that. But, that then leads us to the next two chapters, which in my opinion were quite good. I enjoyed the Spider Kids, I think they called, but I just called, I don't know, I can't remember what I called them. I called them Stone Kids, I think. Which, if you live in Britain, that's quite common, with how many of them do weed in there. Anyway, I thought they were a cool enemy. It reminded me of the Shadow Kids from Little Nightmares 1's DLC, you know? I thought it was cool. And also, when I first saw it, you know, frozen in the clock tower room, in the clock tower room, all I really thought was, this reminds me of the part of Little Nightmares 1 where you go past the eyes, you know. I think it's in Very Little Nightmares, and it is in Little Nightmares 3. But anyway, that reminded me of that, because there's all like the stone, like petrified stone kids, or like the just people in general, you know. Jesus, the bird just scared the hell out of me. It was the squeak, I think, that did it. Such a stupid noise. Anyway, where was I? They were a decent enemy. I kind of wish you could have gotten the crown from the king one, though. You know, it's Bandage Boy, nice. I kind of wish you could have gotten the crown. You know, I tried to go after that one, but I couldn't get to him fast enough. So I don't know if you might be able to get the crown. I'm not too sure though. Maybe not. You know. Anyway, I thought they were quite a cool monster to fight in the game. Rabbit Girl, you are an absolute moron. God. I thought they were interesting, and it was a good introduction to, like allude to the mother, who was gonna be the one that birthed them, you know? But then we get the chapter after, which is the mother's, chapter, where she gets the more screen time. And in my opinion, I think she should have... Oh, hold on. Why didn't she throw this... I think I might have clicked the wrong button then. Anyway, imagine if I struggle for this scene the entire video. Anyway, I think the mother deserved quite a bit more screen time, you know? Like, she was, and is, in my opinion, one of, the best monsters in the game. There we go. I don't think she grabbed the hook fast enough. I don't think I clicked the button in time. That's why I died twice. God. Oh, come on. Anyway, I thought that she just didn't have enough screen time, you know? I think the Sniffer had as much screen time as he deserved. I would have been fine with him having more. But the mother is a monster I think definitely needed some more screen time. Because in my opinion, it's one of the best ones in the game. I think she was a lot more... I don't know. She wasn't as scary as the sheep or the Sniffer, but I enjoyed that part of the game a lot more, you know. But you can say that for a lot of things. I enjoyed this part more than that part. I don't know. I think it was a monster that deserved more screen time. That's basically what I'm saying. I've said it like 5 times already in the video. But I do think that it probably would have served if she was given more than one chase scene, or there's more than one chase scene. That could have been worded differently. There could have been more chase scenes with her in general, you know. That would have been nice. Or there could have just been more hiding from her scenes, which, in my opinion, could have been cool. So that's why I think they could have just given the Pelican chapter and put the chapter with the Spider Kids there, this chapter, okay, and then the Mother's chapter could be have 2 different chapters that would take place after that one, you know, because there'd be more, and so then we'd have spent 2 chapters getting, I think, was it? I don't think I can say KKK girl, but it's Sack girl or something stupid like that. What was I saying? Anyway, when you spend 2 chapters saving her, you can spend 3 chapters saving Bucket Boy, and then they can use the extra time and chapter as the army chapter, where you can save Bandage and that, you know, which would have been nice, because, you know, it would be, I don't know, I think from what I've seen there's quite a bit of cut content from these games, like Little Nightmares for example. There's the Wax Bellhop, and I think Little Nightmares 1 would have been better if they had kept that monster in, you know. I also think Little Nightmares 2 probably would have been a bit better if they'd kept in the barber or something like that, you know, because it would just serve out as more, I don't know, it would basically just be padding out the game. But they're good games, and they deserve more time, you know. And as I've said before, I don't mind waiting longer for a game to come out, if it means there's more game to play, you know, which can be said about literally any game ever. But I think that would have been done a lot, because when I was going through the trench, when all the soldiers were killing themselves, I thought it would have been. You see, like the fat officer, and the first thought in my head is, "Oh, we're gonna have to fight him, aren't we?" Oh, he's a scary bastard, I bet. I did not say that, but I don't know. But anyway, I think there's like a cave or something around here. I'm not going straight to the place we have to go. Anyway, I'm just looking for a secret that I missed first playthrough. There it is. I think this is it. It has to be. Anyway, where was I? Ooh, get him. Didn't know I didn't know I'd have to be fighting you to find the secret. Anyway, I can't remember what I was saying now. But it would have served as better padding, I guess, for the game, rather than the Pelican section. That doesn't sound very good, does it? It would have been better, is what I'm trying to say. It just would have been better, I think, if certain changes just stayed in the game, you know? And also, in the cut content video, I saw, like, the treehouse thing that I thought was interesting. But it makes sense why they didn't put that in the game. But don't you think it would have been cool if you climbed a treehouse and the sniffer pops up there, you know? Or there was like the treehouse ending where Bucket Boy and this little bastard bear to kill the one I'm playing as. I don't know the names. His name is I don't know. I to call them all my own thing, but as I've said before, I don't know whether what I call them is suitable for YouTube guidelines or something like that. I can swear to my heart's content, as long as it's not racist or anything like that. But yeah, I'm not too sure about other things when it comes to YouTube. Anyway, but I can't remember what I was saying now, because I keep going on little side rants about absolute sod all. But oh yeah, it was the treehouse ending thing, where Bucket Boy and this girl killed the main character, and then Rabbit Girl killed Bucket Boy, the girl, and Bandage Boy. And from what I seen from the thing, Bandage Boy was holding a rope, which in my opinion makes it so technically he didn't try to stab you or anything, so he probably wasn't trying to kill you. But in these games like this, he definitely was. But I don't know, as I've said before in my last ranting and raving video, I'm very bad when it comes to symbolism. I never get it. It's damn near impossible for me to understand symbolism, you know? I don't go well with it unless it's thrown at you, literally. You know, and there's still a chance I won't get it whatsoever. You know, it is kind of funny that I do that, don't you think? Anyway. I forget you fight these little bastards, but yeah. But I think I'll go on to the sheep thing now, okay? I wasn't too fussed on it. I thought, yeah, it's good, but I don't get it. It's the main monster that's being built up for the entire game, but I don't get it. Which, Resident Evil, I don't have that problem with Resident Evil games, because Resident Evil, if you just pay attention and go around reading the notes, it's just like, that's why that character's like, oh my goodness gracious, that's why there are so many, what are they called? I don't know, people infected with the last plagas, yeah, because I can't remember what they called them. There was the zealots, there were the soldiers, and there were just the villagers, I'm pretty sure. Anyway. What was I saying now? But you have to wallop me in the face to get, if you think I'm not... Jesus Christ. If I'm gonna get symbolism, you have to throw it in my face. That's exactly what I'm saying, okay? And that's the second time I've said that, by the way. Because, why not? Anyway, I'm just not good with it. So I think there could be more things and that could help explain the symbolism. And again, I'm pretty sure I have missed quite a few of the secrets in this game. That's the main reason I'm doing the second playthrough, so I can see if I can find them. But it'd be nice to know if there were more um, like things that could help you understand the symbolism, you know? Anyway, let's go on to like the army guys and that, because I thought that little section was good. Did I walk past the key again? Yeah, I think I did. I did the same thing last playthrough. I walked right past the key or the crank or whatever it was. Oh wait, no, it's because was that bin always like that? No, I don't think it was. Anyway, what was I saying now? I think the army section was quite good. The trenches, the parts where the soldiers were killing themselves and that was, well, very, just Jesus Christ, you poor, poor bastards. That's like all you can really think about. Same with the piano guy. He's just sitting there, playing his little piano, having a nice time, pretending that not all of his friends aren't dead, basically. Yeah, yeah, and then he just gets shot in the face from the sniper being a little prick. Good thing you get to blow him up with a tank, though, in there. The sniper, I mean. Anyway, oh, this reminds me, right? That the pigs, this thing, right? This guy. I don't get the point of him being here. Gluttony, I guess. But they do go into that quite a bit when it comes to Little Nightmares. Don't be rude to... Okay. What if... Would you kill me if I went too close to you? I don't know. The big pig farms the little pigs, apparently. That just sounds really weird. Anyway, I don't know. I think the soldier section, you know, it just it makes you humanize them quite well, you know, because I don't think Little Nightmares 2 really humanizes any of the enemies you fight, you know. Maybe Mono, but that's it. I mean, Thin Man, basically. But that's about it, you know. I didn't really humanize... I didn't think any of the other monsters were, like, humanized, aside from how they looked, basically. And that goes the same for Little Nightmares 3. Now, Reanimal is better than Little Nightmares 3. But I don't get why people to go around saying Little Nightmares 3 is the worst ever. It's terrible. It's interesting, right? This is a side rant, by the way. It's a good game, but it's not a great game, you know? Like, let's say, Resident Evil Village. That's a good game, but it's not a great game, okay? Resident Evil 7, 4, or 9, maybe even 2 if you want to put it there, they're great games, you know? RDR2 is a great game, while something like, I don't know, well, something like Far Cry 5 is only a good game in my opinion, you know? Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's a terrible game. And I'm going to stop this little side rant now about Little Nightmares 3. Now, when it comes to the future DLCs for Reanimal, right? As I said before, I want to see the copper enemy. I just want to see him come back. That's the main thing I want to see as something that'll be added to the game. It'd be cool, you know? Or maybe they just bring back a monster, you know? So, say Chapter 1 for the DLC could be the copper, and Chapter 2 could be the mother comes back for a bit, or say if this is, and say if the game is like prequel, that's what it's called in there, it would make more sense then, innit? But anyway, then the final chapter could be, you know, like the trailer for the original game. When I watched that, I remember feeling like the pig monster was going to have much more importance other than just here in the barn, you know? Like, it didn't do much. You saw like a different version of this, you know, like the weird humanoid one from the trailers or whatever, you know. That would be a cool, interesting thing to see. It is kind of sad how only 3 of these pigs get to live, you know. Anyway, so those would be cool things to see in the DLC, and maybe we get to see some of that cut content, you know, like, and see a ton of the things that they cut for the sniffer, they could give to the policeman, you know. And I don't know if there's much cut content for the mother. I think it'd be cool if they just made some new stuff for her, because I just like that monster quite a bit, you know. But the pig thing, I don't know. I feel like when I watched the trailer, I felt like it was going to be a bit more important to the overall story and that, you know. I just thought, basically. What am I going to say now? I think that's about it for this video, but I think I'd like to complete this chapter real quick now. So, yeah. I think I'll make the thumbnail the pelican. Oh, the bus stop. Why did I walk right past it? Alright, lads, let's go. Rough day in there. Ran from a creepy pervert in an ice cream truck. It's all too common in Britain. We've had to deal with a giant pelican, and we watched a bunch of pigs get burnt alive. Oof. Also, something I'd like to see in the DLC in that, I'd like to see more things where the kids are talking, you know? That'd be nice, don't you think? Because I think that there wasn't that much when I first watched, I think it was Daz Games or Jacksepticeye. I think it was Daz I watched. Maybe I watched both, who knows. It might have been both. Anyway, I watched it. I was like, ooh, they're talking in this one. Wow, that opens up possibilities. What those possibilities were? Just the characters just having conversations, and it would, I don't know, how do I explain this one? It would just make them feel more real, and it'd make it feel like their struggles are more interesting because they have their own moment to talk about it and that, you know. But yeah, I think, is there anything else I can talk about for this commentary review? I think is what I'm going to title this video, at least. Whatever gets the most views, am I right? I'm joking. I don't really care all that much, to be honest. Anyway. I don't know. There isn't much else. I don't know, because I think the symbolism thing is just my own personal problem, because I don't get it. That's about it. And I do like watching those really long videos about the symbolism and the lore and the blah blah blah. Everyone likes those. If you like the game, I assume. If you don't like the game, then you probably would despise a video talking about the game, wouldn't you? God, that is, yeah. But I also do think that the stuff with the mother and the sniffer is probably, what I've said is mainly just, yeah, probably don't want to play that much to other people's thoughts and opinions, because I am definitely sure that there are probably tons and tons of scrapped concept monsters, you know. But I don't know. I'm not too sure because I've watched like 2 or 3 videos on the cut content for Reanimal, and the main cut content thing I saw was the copper. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.